Yo, it's YNW Slime. My brother gave me the opportunity to, shine, but he's not here to see me shine. And I just dropped Free Melly, and I wanted to see if he liked the video.
It's important to note here that the Supreme Court of Florida has ruled that under certain limited circumstances, the double jeopardy clause contained in the United States and Florida constitutions may apply to cases ending in a mistrial.
Melly come home 2023.
Hello there. Welcome back to Sustained Overruled. I am your host, the Anonymous Attorney. By now, you may have heard that the judge has declared a mistrial in the murder trial of YNW Melly. The major question right now is whether Melly will remain behind bars and just what exactly does a mistrial mean. A mistrial occurs under two circumstances. One, when there is a serious procedural error or misconduct that would result in an unfair trial. The judge adjourns the case without a decision on the merits and awards a new trial, right? That's the first part of it. A mistrial can also occur when a jury is unable to reach a verdict. Here are the facts and the allegations.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demmons, is accused of murdering Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams in October 2018. Surveillance video shows them leaving a Fort Lauderdale recording studio that night, and prosecutors say Melly shot and killed Williams and Thomas soon after. But Melly's defense team has maintained there are major holes in the state's case, even bringing their own witness who said Melly learned about the murders at the same time as the rest of their friend group.
There is a lack of evidence, there is a conflict in the evidence, and the evidence itself and the investigation itself stinks.
The Law and Crime Network briefly interviewed Melly's defense attorneys as well as his manager. Let us take a look.
Just had the mistrial called, and I need to have both of your reactions.
Obviously, we want to thank the jury for their great efforts that they've extended over this period of time. But we are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us. That's all I can say for right now.
And David, do you have anything you want to say further?
I don't really have much to add except to say that the jury did pay attention. We asked them to do a lot, and they hung in there and gave it its best effort, their best effort, and it's the most we could ask of them. So.
And what are your next steps as far as Melly is concerned? Are there going to be any efforts to try to get him out on bond?
We're not at liberty to discuss that at this point.
What are you at liberty to discuss? Can you tell us anything about next steps? The jury could not come to a unanimous decision. And tell us, you are the manager for YNW Melly. What's your reaction to the mistrial?
I mean, I'm happy with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the verdict we would want, of course, but it's a second chance, and I take that literal for everything. Second chance of life, second chance for a better defense. So, I'm excited. Really feel like Melly's coming home. Ben felt like that, but it's just confirmed it.
Have you had a chance to talk to Melly since he's been during this trial, and whether or not, what his reaction would be to a mistrial?
I mean, they took his phone privileges a long time ago before we even got to this case. So no, but I'm pretty sure he's patient. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get into his music, write more, get into praying, and just because he's coming home. So if it's not today or tomorrow, it's definitely going to be soon, real soon.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of the other family members since the mistrial was called, or do you know how they would feel about it?
No, because it just happened. So, I'm pretty sure like everybody was feeling the same way I feel. As long it's not a guilty verdict, you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
Way more ensuring than that. So, pretty much just ready for the next go around.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Melly come home 2023.
As far as Melly's liberty is concerned, he's not exactly a free man. His attorneys have not signaled whether they will submit a bail application. I presume they most likely will. And the prosecution is without a doubt going to oppose his release. Here are my 5 reasons for why I believe that the YNW Melly trial ended in a mistrial. Number 1, the venue. Broward County, by its very nature, is the most diverse county in Florida. Why is this important? Because the jury must be drawn from a representative cross section of the community. This is not just a trial that centers around a black kid from Broward County. It is also a trial about rap. As far as Melly's defense is concerned, this is important because a defendant in his position would be hoping for jurors that can relate to him and jurors that would understand the evidence from the defendant's perspective. Another important factor in this case is the fact that the jury was sequestered. It's the one thing that stood out in the Alec murder trial for me, the fact that the jury was not sequestered. What does that mean? This means that the jury is isolated from the public to prevent jurors from coming into contact with members or products of the media, as well as other people that have an interest in the trial. The third factor that I believe led to the mistrial in this case was the defense closing, right? The defense closing to me drove one message home, and that message is what the officers did not investigate, what the officers did not do was equally as important as what they investigated and what they did. So the omissions in this case definitely played a significant role, or it must have been a deciding factors for some of the members of the jury. The defense closing planted seeds of doubt in some of the jury members' minds. The fourth factor that I believe was important or integral to this mistrial was the fact that the defense had a witness, right? They had something to counter what the prosecution was saying or the case that they put on. And the most important reason, I believe, for the mistrial was the fact that Melly shut the a lot of defendants do not listen to their attorneys. In this case, as somebody who represents folks that are accused of committing crimes, I was actually relieved when Melly decided to exercise his Fifth Amendment right. So number 5 and 4 obviously go in together. If you can get somebody else to testify on your client's behalf, you do that. The one thing you do not want is for your client to take the stand. You absolutely do not want to do that. It does not matter how well you prepare them. Again, we saw this with the Alec murder trial. For an attorney, I have no idea why he decided to get on the stand, but then again, he probably thought he's smarter than everybody else. Will YNW Melly have another trial? It depends. The prosecution in this case may decide to try him all over again, but it won't be immediate. Whether Melly will remain incarcerated is yet to be seen. Very good. I'll see you in the next video.